Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Adult Table, your one-stop shop for all things ridiculous, American, patriotic, and unabashedly don't give a fuck. I, of course, am Trev, and I am joined with my co-host, as always, the incomparable, the mighty and powerful, the vanilla gorilla himself, Mr. Joey Fats, repping the Ultimate Warrior tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You
Macho
know,
Man, but yeah.
I know. I can't separate them in my head. They're just like the same person to me. But this hat was just way too cool not to get. So
It's a fucking banger of a hat. I love the
It really
colorway.
is, dude.
It's just very good. Yeah.
It is, and the colors are very me. Very
Mhm.
very out there, very in your face, very flamboyant.
Yep.
Just kind of how I like it. It's.
Yeah, you're a big gay guy. Super flamboyant.
I mean, I have definitely been. Call it like I'm told I am told I am a bear from like basically to a T, which I guess is a good thing if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're into big hairy men, sure.
Yeah, like
Hey, to
I'm
each
not,
their own.
but I'm not overly hairy. I'm just big. Like I
Right.
really don't have a ton of hair. Even that, like I shave a lot of it. Not to be TMI about it, but like I do manscape a little bit
Sure.
because it's a little unbecoming. I do
Well, it
tend to
gets
wear a lot of.
especially in the summertime, it gets unruly down there. There's way more sweating going on than usual.
Well, and
It's-
that like I just don't like hairy arms and chests and shoulders and things like that. Ugh. It's like you don't want to look like you don't want to be. I wear a lot. I basically live in sleeveless attire. Like even in the winter, most of my
No.
hoodies that I wear around the house don't have sleeves on them, which drives my wife nuts. She's like, "Why the fuck would you have a sleeveless hoodie? What is the point of that?" And I'm like, "Well, it keeps my chest nice and warm and my arms icy
And
cool."
you can't keep these guns contained. God
You know-
damn it.
That's the other thing. Like sometimes, like even when the sun's out, the guns want to come out. Just be happy I'm not oiling them up. Letting them glisten a little bit. You know what I mean? That's for the summer. But,
Yes.
the hair part sucks. It blows. But I like to be, at least like nice to get. But I'm not a bear. But
You're
I
not a
did
natural. You're not a bear in the sense of what it means to be one, to the actual full definition. Like, you've got the
No.
size there, but yeah, you're not.
I'm not hairy enough. I don't
Like,
think.
listen, if you were actually Italian,
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah, you would have to do a lot more shaving, and you would be a more natural bear.
Probably. I'd like to think like I mean, I like to consider myself bearish. Not a full blown bear, but bearish.
Bear curious?
Bear curious, if you will.
Oh,
A
I
little,
will.
maybe I got a little polar bear in me. Goes both ways, north and south.
Yeah, there's two poles. You got to ride them both.
I mean, seriously, it is what it is. That's what they're there for. They are there to be ridden and rode, and well, here I am. And if you get in my way, I might just maul you to death. So
I mean, you fucked around and found out, and there's
That's
going to be
true.
a lot of fucking around and finding out going on soon.
oh my
Uh,
god.
I mean,
Can we please keep the cameras rolling? Like for those, I know what we're getting. We know where we're going with this, right? Like we're obviously going to be talking about,
Yeah, I'm going
what's
to
going on in
introduce it in a
California.
minute. Yeah, you finish that thought though.
but can just as a public service announcement for everybody that's going to be out in California filming, please hold the camera fucking steady, okay? I want to see like gore. All right, I don't need shaky, panicky cameras on your flick. It's a phone. No one's shooting at you. The guy's already dead. You can just stand there and just hold the phone. Just film like you've been there. There was guys in Vietnam, okay, that could film perfectly fine while they were actually actively, trying to be killed.
Yep.
And you people out here are like, and then there's always that one hysterical female shrieking in the background. Edit her out, please. It's inevitable. I know. It's always the white chick with blue hair and the septum piercing, which I have nothing against septum piercings, but
Neither do I,
it
but now
just
it's
kind of
a-
goes hand in hand at this point.
But now it's a very. I mean, my ex has one, but she's based as fuck.
Yeah.
It's not universal. But
Right. A septum piercing is not it's not a dead ringer of a sign, but it tends to fit the narrative.
I'd say 8 to 9 times out of 10 it is. Maybe slightly less, but
yeah. I'd say maybe I'd go more like 7 out of 10. 70% of the time.
I think 7 to 8 is fair.
Yeah, we'll call it 7.5. We'll split
it's not
the
across the board.
You know,
but,
we'll get a little technical like Elon does. You know, just get really down into.
Well,
the
hold
numbers.
on, I gotta get my ketamine.
Yeah,
I
gotta get my ketamine and then call out the president for being a pedophile, and then simultaneously apologize within 6 hours.
Yeah, and have to redact everything that he's just said because
then,
it's not untrue. Because
and then delete all my tweets.
Yeah, which is funny because he owns the platform, but
which is wild to me. But you know,
but yes,
I mean,
folks.
Here we go. The adult table off and running, baby.
We're of course talking about the biggest thing that happened over the weekend. I of course am talking about R-Truth, Ron the Truth Killings coming back into WWE days after being let go, and he screws over John Cena in his tag team match where he paired with Logan Paul to face Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest story in the country.
It happened in L.A.
It did happen in L.A.
And
I
want all those people to keep those cameras steady and focused as they watch R-Truth bury John Cena.
Yes.
No, obviously
I want
what...
the cameras very steady on John Cena while he speaks Mandarin and apologizes to the Chinese.
Yep, and we get to see a big close-up of his bald spot. No, I think what Cena's doing now is...
I thought you were going to say his ball sack, which I would also be fine with. You know?
Well, I mean, just as sad-looking, I would imagine. But I'm loving his heel run. Like, it had to happen. We're talking quick wrestling here. But what happened with Truth being not re-signed, and then the crowd overwhelming people in the crowd just yelling, "We want Truth" all the time. I think they strong-armed him. They were strong-armed into re-signing him. Otherwise, they face this big backlash, and he's back. And he's now going under his real name, Ron Killings. They already have merch made up for him, so it's like a fucking done deal. He's re-signed. It's great. That man is a national treasure. He's so fucking funny. And behind the scenes, by all accounts, he's like the nicest guy. Like, goes out of his way to help everybody. So good for him. But I just wanted to make a quick little segue joke into that. But obviously, yes, we are going to be talking about what the fuck is going on in LA tonight. I mean, that's the only thing we can really talk about. What else is there?
Well, we can. So I think we can touch a little bit. We'll obviously talk about LA, but we can touch a little bit on Elon and Trump.
Sure. Yes, because that also happened.
Yeah. And then we can, we'll talk about the warning shot that Ed Markey fired over the federal government's over Trump's bow today, about not doing what he's doing in California and Massachusetts. So, Ed Markey, probably the third dumbest politician we have in this state, behind Liz Warren and Ayanna Pressley.
I'd also Healy.
I'm gonna put her fourth because I don't think she's dumb. I think
she's certainly incompetent.
I honestly think she's perfectly. I think she could be perfectly competent if she wanted to be.
But she's
she's competent to serving herself, if you will. I don't think
she's not good.
No, it doesn't make her good. But yeah, I guess incompetent would be the way.
She's in cahoots with Warren and fucking Wu. Like they're all on the same page.
But like Michelle Wu is just like a giant retard. She's just like, "Oh, look at me. I am Chinese and I have a baby on my arm. You make fun. Listen to me now. I'm smarter than you. I go Harvard." And you're like, yeah, going to Harvard's not the flex it used to be, sweetie.
Well, no, it isn't. And also, I'm pretty sure she doesn't sound that way, but that's...
Nah, she does. Every time she opens her mouth, she's just like, "Oh, hello, Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, please."
She's Soldier Boy. "Oh, hello, please, Soldier Boy. Sucky, $5. Oh shit." She's like, "Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. That was my mother. Sorry, my grandmother was coming out of me." And then she just immediately talks like a gay man.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry. This is my baby. What would her name? What do you think her fucking kid's name is? Like June? You know what I mean? Like June Woo,
or Sage, or I'm gonna say this even though I have many friends and at least one ex that has this name for a son, Aiden. That's
Oh
overused.
God, Jesus Christ! That was like the most popular name of the 2010s. Aiden, Caden, Braden, Jaden. Just pick one.
I had
Any
a
of the
friend,
Dins.
my friend and his wife named their first son Sawyer because back then Lost was the big show and they loved Lost. I'm like, that show fucking sucks.
Oh, I thought he was. I thought they were naming him after Tom Sawyer by Rush, but okay.
Or the character by Mark Twain. Yeah.
Yeah, either one. Either would have been a better answer, actually.
Yes.
No, I know a kid. I won't even call him a friend because he's actually a giant fucking asshole. But
Welcome to the
he
potty, pal.
his last name is Green, and he named his daughter Basil. I was like, you realize you're not Hollywood elite, right? Like, you probably can't get away with this.
Yeah, you're not Gwyneth Paltrow and the guy from Coldplay. You can't name your kid Apple and get away with it.
Yeah, dude. Like, you're not Angelina Jolie. Knock it off.
Yeah,
Like,
because guess what? Apple goes to a private school where all the other kids were also celebrity kids, or at least super rich,
and their names are all
also
fucking retarded.
have
too.
stupid fucking names too.
Yeah.
Yes. So
It's like, oh, Apple, like, oh, how you doing? I'm Trumpet. You're like, what? Yeah, my dad's just really into jazz and Louis Armstrong, so
you just named me after the instrument.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my dad was really into Neil Armstrong, so he named me Trumpet. It's like, oh, your dad's really dumb.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, really dumb.
Yep,
Like,
because Neil Armstrong
Ron
famously
Armstrong.
played the trumpet as soon as he landed on the moon.
Yeah.
He's like, this is one small step for man and one giant fucking jazz fusion
This is-
shit that you're not going to understand
and
for
one
man.
giant trumpet toot for mankind.
Yep.
Which is there a dumber instrument than the trumpet, by the way? I honestly think it might be the dumbest instrument ever.
No, just the triangle. Especially when that's all you do. You're the guy
Yeah.
holding the you go ding every once in a while. You don't even need it.
Who did a lot of triangles? Was it Leonard Skinner that had a triangle?
They
I
might
mean-
have had it here and there, but it's not as prominent as like a cowbell in a song where it's like, oh, there's the cowbell.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like,
Triangle's more subtle.
cowbell was wasn't that big in Fear the Reaper?
Yeah, don't fear the yes.
Yeah, don't fear the Reaper. When I say Fear the Reaper, don't fear the Reaper.
You
know,
you were
that
one
song
word. I mean,
was by
I knew
Blue
what you
Oyster
meant,
Cult.
obviously, but yes.
Yeah. Great fucking jam, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just like, but I don't know. Trumpet to me has always been like dumb. It's like it's got 3 buttons on it. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? At least
Yeah.
saxophone has like a couple dozen.
Yeah, I played sax in elementary school for like
Me
a
too.
year.
Yeah, same. 5th grade, I played saxophone. I went from violin in 3rd grade, which is actually, I really wish I'd stuck with that because that was fun. It was just like a guitar for your shoulder. And then I did trombone in 4th grade, which was fucking annoying and stupid. And then I did saxophone 5th grade, which I really felt like I found my calling. And then I didn't join the band in 6th grade, so I was like, fuck that. That's for fucking gays.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm gonna go to I'm taking general music so I can watch Star Wars with my boys, and that's exactly what I did. Kind of wish I stuck with the saxophone though. I actually kind of got good at saxophone for a minute.
I was decent at it, and I did learn how to read music that way.
Me too.
Which I lost that ability to do, but thankfully I play guitar and other things, and drums and bass and keys now where I don't need tab. I have tab.
Yeah, exactly. I lost my ability to read music when I started playing guitar because
I couldn't tell you what any of them mean now.
Nah,
But
not even a little bit.
I played sax for about a year and a half, maybe from like 4th to 5th grade, and then I was like, yeah, I don't really like doing this, and I don't think guys that play saxophone get that many women. So then I was like, I'm gonna learn guitar.
Boy, were we wrong. Because I'll tell you what, if you go into a mall and play Careless Whisper on a saxophone uninvited, you will get tons of pussy thrown at you.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, that song's an undeniable fucking classic.
Yeah.
And if you can do the sax part to it, then obviously you're going to do that.
Yeah. But yeah,
although
you
I don't
back
think it would
to,
be that hard for me to relearn that now.
name like one saxophone player where you're like, oh, dude, that guy tamed so much strange.
The guy from the Lost Boys.
I was going to say the black dude from the E Street Band, but.
Oh, sure. Clarence.
Clarence. And Clarence
Clemens,
got a
the
real
big
good
man,
marriage.
yeah. Oh, he totally did.
Yeah, he
unless he
definitely
was
came
gay,
to
and then he was crushing all kinds of man ass.
Well, whatever, dude. He was. I mean, he was.
But
taking,
good for him if he did. He deserved it.
He was slaying dicks or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't personally care what he was doing. It doesn't bother me.
No, neither do I.
But some people might have an issue with it.
That's funny you mentioned that, man, because Bruce Springsteen's in the news. He's protesting at his own shows.
Oh yeah,
Trump,
he's gone off the deep end, dude. He's a fucking loser.
He always has been. I've never liked him, and he's always been the worst part of the E Street Band. Everybody else in the band is great. They're phenomenal musicians. He's the worst part of it. He can't sing. He's not a good guitar player.
No, he's really not. My aunts and uncles, like on my dad's side, like they all, and my cousins love Bruce Springsteen. Like that's like their favorite, like band, entertainer, whatever, of all time. And I always grew up and they were always like Bruce, Bruce, Bruce. They love Bruce. And I'm like, he's got some decent songs. Like don't get me wrong, like there's a few bangers in there, but like on the whole, I'm like, I don't know. I put him right there with like fucking U2 and like just terms of like bands that if I never heard him again, I wouldn't miss him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't care for either. Like there's a couple
songs
I like from both.
Sure, but
there's a couple songs I like from both groups, but overall I don't like them in general.
Hang on, I gotta turn this fan on behind me. Hold on.
Oh, Joey's tits are starting to sweat. He's got a fucking. Are you wearing clean underwears, Joey?
Okay, there we go. It's just like I needed a breeze. Like, I don't have my air conditioner in yet. I'm being cheap.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, all that shit's dumb. I don't like those bands. They're gay.
No, they suck. I do like. It's and you know what the shitty part is? Like this is the time of year now too. Like especially like coming up on the 4th of July. Well, you'll put on like a 4th of July playlist, and everything's going to be like, you know, it's going to be a lot of Creedence, naturally, which nobody's mad about.
I always.
But then you're going to end up with like the Eagles, U2, and Bruce Springsteen, like thrown in there, and every once in a while we have to be like, oh, fucking skip.
I like some Eagles songs. I can't lie.
I don't hate the Eagles as a band. Like I'm not one of those people. I just fucking hate Hotel California.
No, yeah, we talked about this before. It's in.
Yeah.
I used to do that karaoke. That was when I first started doing karaoke, so 20 years ago.
I tore the house down on karaoke on the last cruise I was on.
Hell yeah.
And I did Jump Around by House of Pain.
Of course you did.
It was lit.
You were obligated to do so.
Yeah, white guy, you know? It's like what rap, like what hip hop song can a white guy do these days? Like, because normally I would do like either like Party Up by DMX or Give Me the Loot by Biggie. But when you're in a mixed crowd with a bunch of people you don't know, it's like,
yeah,
I really want to be the guy up here throwing N-bombs down, like, you know, like it's my job, because it's not.
Right, exactly. But you're not saying it because saying it because it's inflammatory. Even if it's in the song, you're not taking that opportunity to be like, I got to say it.
I got one over on you.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Listen,
like that.
I didn't write the song. I'm just I'm paying tribute to the art and the artist. Thank you. By giving you my rendition of it, and let me tell you, it is pretty fantastic. You know, I can pretty much nail both voices and Give Me the Loot. So.
As someone who regularly does Gin and Juice by himself, you know, that's a duet, and Regulate.
Regulate's classic, though. That's such a good one. Craigie D does my favorite version of Regulate, though. Craig DeMello, he does a live, but that's what he usually does his freestyle. That's my go-to, Regulate.
Oh, guy. Sure, yeah, I'm sure he's much better at it than I am.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Craig's awesome. He's the best. He DJ'd my wedding, did freestyle at my wedding. He's unfucking believable.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
My wife and I he's one of the few people my wife and I actually will go out to see.
Well, that says a lot. Yeah.
When he plays, because we don't go out anywhere. Like we're like, ooh, leave the house. Oh, but it's like, but my TV is here. You know,
I have everything I need right. I don't need to go out to get any of this. It's like
the only thing I need to leave my house for is food and booze.
Yeah,
and then I mean to bring it back. You know, I don't need to go out and get it. So
yeah, you take care of that like once, twice a week.
Well, liquor store is more like a 3 or 4 day a week thing, but yeah, whatever. Now that I'm back off the wagon, and back on the sauce.
Oh shit, he's back, folks.
I had to. I was driving myself nuts. I've been, I won't dive into my whole personal injury history, but I have an issue with my neck. My C6 vertebrae is a little banged up right now, and I lost a lot of range of motion in my right arm.
Yeah,
my tricep doesn't work, so it's been hindering my gym progress a lot.
Well, sure.
This spring, which I had big plans for, so it's been like kind of fucking gay to not be able to do the things that I'm usually like accustomed to doing.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Yeah, so I've been like kind of like, so I quit drinking back in like April because I was back on my regular training regimen, but I was dealing with this injury at the time. So I was like, well, I'm still going to quit drinking, still going to do everything like I was going to be. I'm just going to pretend like the injury's not here. I'm going to do everything else the same. And I just haven't been able to go as hard in the paint as I've wanted to in the gym, and it's killing me. So I don't know. I supposed to meet with a surgeon last week, and they blew me off last minute. So now I'm going to go at the end of July, and hopefully it doesn't require surgery. But my goal is I'm getting better. I'm getting some pop back in the old righty here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, jerking off's a little easier now.
Well, I'm a lefty for that anyway. So
right.
that's cool.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like I'm noticing, I could, if I had to, you know what I mean? If I need to go ambi, I could do it now. Whereas 3 months ago, 4 months ago might have been a little tough. So
right, sure. Well, you adapt.
Yeah. Well, adapt and overcome, baby. That's all it is.
Either you adapt or you fail. Like you're
adapt or die. I mean, it's just.
I mean, it is really, if you want to break it down that much, it is that simple.
Yeah, it really is.
Isn't that life?
Yeah. So my goal is hopefully by September this will have worked itself out or whatever, and I will be back on the road to because the goal was 600 pounds on the bench for this year. I did 500 last year. The goal was 600 for this year. So I've been slowly but surely laying some groundwork here this spring, despite my injury. So I think maybe if this comes back by September, hopefully.
You'll get there, brother. It maybe a little later than initially planned, but
yeah. But like I was talking to my buddy today, nobody lifts the weight that I lift for this long and this heavy, and comes out of it healthy. So it's kind of like playing football. When I was in college, my offensive coordinator told me, he's like, I was coming back from an injury. He's like, how you feeling? I'm like, shitty. He's like. Yeah, it's football. Like, congratulations. He's like, nobody plays football because they want to be healthy. If you want to be healthy, go take yoga. And I was like, damn, that's a really fucking good point, coach. And
well, yeah, because it's true.
It's 1,000% true. So anyway, enough about me. Shall we talk about some other unhealthy things, like throwing bricks through LAPD cruisers, windshields,
and ice vehicles, and just regular people trying to get to their job? Windshield so it all started Friday. We're on day 4.
You know what else started Friday too that is going to go widely untalked about too real quick before we put this in? Maybe we'll get to it a little bit later. That Russia was bombing Ukraine back to the Stone Age all day, like Thursday, Friday, because Russia tried to assassinate Putin, and then they carried out a drone strike on on a strategic airbase for the Russians, and Putin was like, yo, dog, I can't let this go, right? And then they didn't let it go, and Russia started obliterating Kiev, which was hilarious.
Well, because what happened earlier, like a week or two before, is after Trump signed the deal with Zelensky, he was supposed to sit down with Putin. I believe they did, and there was a ceasefire called, and then the Ukraine attacked Russia, and then Russia was like, well, we got to retaliate for this.
Yeah, it's like when you're wrestling with one of your boys in elementary school, and they're like, time out, and then you stop, and then they punch you in the balls.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, well, now it's all bets are off. Like,
time out. Okay. Time in.
Yeah, that's dirty. Like, you deserve to be stomped for that. So,
that's why I have no, I mean, listen, I don't have any sympathy for the Ukrainians. I don't have any sympathy for the Russians.
Same.
Honestly, if they both want to wipe each other off the face of the planet, I'd be fine with that. you know what? Take Gaza and Israel with you. And you know what? If Iran, Pakistan, and India all want to obliterate themselves too, by all means, go.
It's a whole lot of not our problem. That's the way I see it. Like we have so much going on right now, especially right now.
Right now, starting on Friday in California.
I gotta say, I really resent. My birthday's on Saturday, same birthday as Trump, so we know at least two polarizing assholes were born on Flag Day. Yes, nice. And I'm proud of that.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate that. What I'm not stoked on is how the month is also now Pride Month, and we got this the 2020 riots started in June. Like, why is this month synonymous with gay riots?
It's the Summer of Love 2.0.
I mean, that's probably what it's going to be called.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've already seen the memes for it, but yeah.
And now, like I had messaged you before the show, now things are spilling over. Like some small things were starting in Tampa, in New York City. Just about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. That hasn't popped off like it has been in LA for the last 4 days, but the domino effect's going to happen. I'm actually surprised, like, Chicago hasn't already started doing it, like, 2 days into this starting already. Same with New York City. Tampa's a surprise to me. But, again, those aren't, like, significant big ones happening, but it looks like there's, something starting to boil in those locations currently. We'll see if anything develops further than that, but yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it will. It's just all planned and highly orchestrated and funded by, I assume my tax dollars, because let's face it, most of these paid protesters, which is what they are, because none of these people are actually out there protesting ICE on their own accord. Like, nobody has. There's not nearly enough people in LA or any major city for that matter to get out and protest something like this, unless they're being paid to do it. Because we all have day jobs.
Most people do, yes. But there is the staggering number of illegal immigrants in California, which is, I believe, over 810,000.
A lot.
800,000. Nearly a million. About 200,000 shy of a million illegal undocumented immigrants. So if that statistic is true, then there is a substantial amount of people that could go out there and do whatever they want, because those people aren't on the books. Like, they're most likely all in the number. I forget the billions of dollars that it's costing.
But to get them all together in the same place at the same time, like that takes some serious.
Well, they're not all there. There's a lot of people doing this shit, but it's what I was watching earlier. It was the people in front of the federal building that is then in front of where the detainment facility is, and there was probably like 300 to 400 protesters there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's not
about it. I could barely. Nothing, I mean, but I couldn't get 10 guys together to play pickup basketball on Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let alone 400 people to go out and be like, fuck the federal government. Like, wear masks and assault police.
Again, I'm not saying that some people aren't being, incentivized to be there. I do believe that to be happening for sure.
Oh, out there. That's a proven fact. We know it through USAID. And all the findings from Elon and Doge that a lot of our tax dollars were going to these, organizations that basically fund these protests.
But for every person that may or may not be paid off to be there, there's another probably like 6 that just sees this happening. They're like, yeah, exactly, and I'm gonna go there, and now they're there. I think there's a mix of the numbers there. But yes, there are people there, I believe, that are there to facilitate more action on their end. I mean, I saw footage of, or at least pictures. I think it was actual video footage, and then pictures of the pallets of cinder blocks that were dropped off and were thankfully found before people got to them. But There were people throwing cinder blocks off overpasses onto police cars and other vehicles today.
Which, mind you, is attempted murder.
Yes.
So, if you throw something off an overpass onto an active highway, yes, that is what we call attempted murder.
Yeah, it could be something as small as a fucking marble.
One of the worst, one of the most horrendous 911 calls I'd ever listened to in my life, and I don't even know why I heard it, why I found it or listened to it. It was a man on the highway, on the side of the highway, calling 911 because somebody had thrown like a ball bearing, like the size of a pool ball, off of an overpass, and it went through the windshield and hit his wife in the head.
Jesus Christ!
And literally, killed her on impact. But the man's screaming like, "Oh God, I can see her brains! Oh my God, I can see her brains!" And you're like, it is the most gut-wrenching fucking 911 call I've ever listened to.
Yeah, because physics. That
Some
weight of a thing.
16, 17-year-old little fucking punk faggot wanted to be funny, and it's like, nah, dog, like. That's how people die. And that kid's doing a significant amount of time in prison now. Thankfully, they charged him as an adult, so that was nice.
Well,
I wasn't say give him the chair, but whatever.
Well, that depends on the state that we're in.
Yeah, I think we just need to bring back, capital punishment as a grand thing,
Mass has never had it, at least not in our lifetime.
No, but I'm saying as a federal thing, hey man, if you commit some sort of, and this kid didn't deserve to die because he killed somebody. But then again, I don't know how I'd feel if that was me and that was my wife, how I would feel. I would probably just kill him myself, to be quite honest. I'd be like, no, don't give him the chair. I'll get myself sentenced to prison. I'll find myself find my way into his prison, and then I will kill him in prison.
At the very least, the sentence should be life without parole.
I don't see how that's remotely unfair.
Yeah,
I get it. You're 17, whatever. You make a really, really, really dumb choice, but also you're 17. You should know how this shit works. I knew how stuff worked. We had close encounters, brushes with death when I was 16, 17, especially once we started driving.
Mm-hmm.
God, not for nothing, but some of my friends didn't make it through high school. So
same.
we all had one at least, that we knew, or somebody we knew, or was close to, whatever, that didn't make it because they made a poor choice, behind the wheel of a vehicle or doing something else. It happens. But these people throwing their shit off overpasses in LA, these are not. And again, this is what pisses me off about it is I got told by some fucking clown on Facebook. I don't even know who it was. A mutual friend of a friend. And they were like, "Oh wow, man! You guys really, sound like you hate, impoverished or underserved minorities." I'm like, wait, you think the people that are protesting are underserved? That's what you think they are, underserved minorities? No, man. They're either, if they are what they claim they are, they're illegal immigrants and they shouldn't be here to begin with.
Yeah.
Or they're paid agitators and paid protesters that are carrying out attempts on people's lives by throwing fucking cinder blocks off of overpasses at moving vehicles. There is no black or white. There is no gray there. It is very black or white. So
yes,
I could not agree more with Trump's decision to move in the National Guard and the Marine Corps, which is, I think, even fucking awesomer.
Mm-hmm. And now more Marines, now more National Guardsmen as well.
Yep. And they're up in the ante, which is, I think, is great. We dealt with this in 2020. We went through this in 2020, where you were like, now, this is their First Amendment right. If they want to burn and loot an AutoZone, they can. If they want to burn down, they want to rob a Nike store, this is them exercising their First Amendment right. Nah, bro, we ain't buying that shit anymore, dog. That shit sailed. All right? That shit went out with fucking George Floyd. We allowed you guys to basically burn the entire fucking Midwest down over the course of a summer and the Pacific Northwest because you fucking simped out for a drug-addled fucking felon.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh, George Floyd was innocent, man. He got fucking killed by the cops, and that's fucked up. No, he didn't get killed by the cops. He died from a fentanyl overdose. Like, it's in the autopsy report. Go fucking read the autopsy, you fucking retard. But don't.
He was saying he couldn't breathe before they even took him out of the vehicle.
Listen. If you can talk, you can breathe. That's law enforcement 101. Like, handcuffs do not restrict your ability to breathe. So you might be having a panic attack and require medical attention, but that will come after the scene is secured, because as law enforcement officials will tell you, and the way medical and law enforcement work is law enforcement secures the scene, and then medical is allowed to come in and do their job. If that scene is not secure, medical is not permitted to go onto the scene because it's not safe. So it's a very, very simple, again, black and white, very little gray area, black and white kind of fucking moment. These people simped out for this fucking convict in 2020. I mean, our governor is on record saying, like, oh, it's okay that they're burning down these cities. This is how forests grow. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that wasn't like 22 people lost their lives in those riots over the course of that summer? Like, that's the price that we had that those people had to pay a price. Like the guy who was I can't remember his name, the former retired cop that was defending his pawn shop from looters deserves to be shot in the chest because George Floyd, a fucking fentanyl addicted fucking retard, died in police custody. I'm sorry, like that doesn't sound fair to me at all. Actually, like. We already did this dance with you in 2020. If you think we're going to do it again and we're going to repeat the same mistakes and we're just going to be like, you know what? Their First Amendment right. Like that fucking jackass from ABC said yesterday or today when he was like, oh, he's like, there's just some people just, standing around having fun, watching a car or two burn.
Because that's what you do when you go to Los Angeles. It's like roasting marshmallows.
Yeah, I mean, my first thing when I go to LA is like, damn, can't wait to get on the 305 and fucking watch some cars burn, bro.
Yeah, like how we have a bonfire, or just like a small fire in your backyard sometimes. Like you hang around it. Like,
and the bottom line is most of America is sick and tired of their shit. Like Americans are fucking tired of people blocking highways for whatever cause they think is just. Like you are going to start getting run the fuck over. Like we're done with you. We're done placating you and your idiot toddler little outbursts, your little tune bag, fucking
everything
bullshit.
They do is so stupid, and I see constantly on Facebook in particular that they're all the leftists are like, well, this isn't even compared to January 6th. Like that was an insurrection, and this is like just peaceful. I'm like, what the fuck are you actually talking about? Like,
there was already
you're talking about 4 hours.
There's already more damage monetarily, more damage in LA than there was on all of January 6th. So,
and that was on day one of this starting, and that's when shit
and this is going to
really
go on for how
yet.
long? Like, nah, man. Like, nope. And again, January 6th, like, while we know, like, was it was it the best day ever for this country? No, but it was a bunch of people who we knew who were there because we knew an election was stolen, unjustly stolen from us, and it was. It's been proven that election was stolen and was not legit. Okay, fine. Fair enough. But there was also feds and paid agitators in that crowd that are doing the exact same things, dressed in the same shit that we are, like, to look like Trump supporters.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then the cops were in on it. Nancy Pelosi was in on it. Like everybody was in on it.
And that's the other thing too, because a bunch of these people are like, well, Trump didn't call in the National Guard on J6. It's like, well, actually, he wanted to, but Pelosi blocked it because she actually
Nancy Pelosi said no.
She had the power to block it there. So that's what happened, and they're like allergic to facts and reality. I don't
know how they're so disillusioned. Like, and again, it goes back to like, like we talked about this off air the other day. Like I had a friend of, someone I've been friends with, I'd say, you've been friends with for 35 years, like finally blocking unfriend me on Facebook because he was tired of my rhetoric about the, and I'm like,
It took
Bro,
this
I'm like,
long.
and I'm like, first of all, it took you that long. Like, good for you, it took you that long. I'm sure you probably wanted to before that, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But like, I called somebody, or I said, "Oh, you're one of those retards," because this person that I was arguing with, it wasn't him, by the way, it was somebody else. It was on his post, but it was someone else.
Yeah.
Was claiming that Donald Trump, still trying to tell me that Donald Trump said that there were very fine people in the neo-Nazi side of the Charlottesville riots. I'm like, oh, you're one of those retards. You actually still believe that, and you would think. Now, if this person had a shred of credibility, decency, or what's the integrity, he would have come out and been like, actually, old lady friend of mine, yeah, that's been debunked. Donald Trump didn't actually say that. I'm not excusing Joey for calling you a retard. He's still an asshole for that. But you are wrong. And that didn't happen. Nope. He just goes. He flips it and blames me and says they're in a cult. They don't know what they don't know what they're talking about to her. And I'm like, wow. So like you claim like you want to be a journalist. You want to be somebody who's on the right and on the up and up and you shoot down the middle. But you don't have the balls to call out your own side when they're wrong. So. Where are you really getting at? So you're not a journalist. You're like every other Democrat activist that just happens to have a press pass. Like that's all you are. Like you're just a cheerleader for your side. And I wish I could read you the message that I got sent. The prime minister's like, accusing me of being a cheerleader for Trump. And could you ever criticize anything he's ever done? Like, fuck yeah, I can criticize a shitload of stuff Trump has done.
Absolutely.
How much time do you have? You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of things I can criticize him for.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter because you won't care because I'm not criticizing him for the fucking made up bullshit that you want me to criticize him for. I'm going to criticize him for not firing Dr. Fauci when he clearly should have. I'm going to criticize him for allowing the country to be locked down for 2 weeks during COVID. I'm going to criticize him for a lot of his personnel and cabinet decisions. Like, there's a lot of stuff I could go down a whole list of things I could criticize him for. But you want me to criticize him for shit that's not true about very fine people on both sides, and suckers and losers, and attacking the limo driver in the fucking presidential limo, or
grab him by the pussy,
or being raping that fucking woman Eugene Carroll, and it's like, dog, that never happened. Like, we all know that never happened.
Yeah, they're grasping at straws that don't even exist anymore. Like, almost every thing that they think is a gotcha moment is, and they still use, is already been disproven, time and time again.
But that's the thing, that they don't care because the gotcha moment worked at the time for them, and it fit their narrative, and then their ego won't let them go back and be like, oh, well, now that I've been presented with new information, that's actually not true.
Yeah, because even when it's not applicable anymore, they're still using it. Like, you guys are still saying that? Like,
that's what I said. I'm like, well, are you really that retarded? Like, I'm like, wow, like, now you're going back to like what, 2016 for that? Like, really? Like, that's kind of fucking wild. Like, that's this is almost a decade old, and like it's been debunked and disproven time and time again. All you gotta do is go on YouTube. I mean, even YouTube put the original clip back up of what he said. You know what I mean? You used to have to go to Rumble to get it, but now you can just get it on YouTube. And it's like, okay, like, wait, you still believe this? Oh, so you're either being disingenuous or you're completely retarded. Take your pick. Like,
because you're not up to date on your it's almost every comment I see is made by some weird older woman. And
it's always an
pictures
elderly, liberal,
of one of their
leftist
pets,
white woman,
and they got like the Ukraine border, border, or something, or like right now,
the Ukraine flag, the France flag, the stay at home. I'm staying home. I'm helping.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, Fauci,
or like
2020,
or the ultimate cringe one. I have a healthy distaste in the government, and even I got vaccinated. Like, even I got my COVID shot. It's like, oh, that's the worst.
It's like even I have a healthy distaste in the government, but I went along like a little lemming because that's what I am.
But and that's funny because they call us the bootlickers. It's like, but you guys wanted all these mandates and like being forced.
Don't forget they Hillary Clinton wanted to put us in re-education camps. which I'm pretty sure is just fancy talk for concentration camp. But
Yeah,
whatever.
because you're not being. What else is re-education than having to concentrate really hard?
You know who else uses re-education camps? The Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that in an episode of South Park. If you watch when Randy tries to bring integrity to South China, and he has to read from the little card. The state is all being. I am just part of the state. The state is the bad. It's like, yeah, that's what they wanted us to do.
Was that
bow to the government.
Was that the Japanese toilet one?
No, that was when he tries to bring integrity to China, and and then Mickey Mouse, and that was when he first meets Mickey. And he's like, it's Winnie the Pooh, and then he kills Winnie the Pooh at the end.
Yes.
What was that? Lost Boys? The scene where he chokes him? No. No, Lost Boys. No, Lost Boys was the Ozempic special with the serial.
Oh, right, which I haven't seen. Yeah, I gotta get on. I gotta get on Paramount.
What was the scene where he chokes him with the piano wire from behind, and just like staring at the camera blankly as he's like just choking the fuck out of him? Oh, it's like a pretty famous scene from a pretty famous movie. I can't.
Well,
think
when
of it.
you say that, in the way he looks up at the camera, makes me think of No Country for Old Men when
that might be it.
Anton Chigurh chokes out the police officer with the handcuffs. There might be another scene like that, but that's the first one I can think of. That at least looks like that. It's not piano wire though.
Yes, it was Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men. That's exactly what it was.
What the fuck are you?
I was reading something else. I was reading the title of the Reddit thread that said
I was on one of my autistic threads at Country for Old Men.
I rewatched No Country for Old Men and finally realized the joke of Randy being Anton where he kills the cop.
Okay, yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, that was it. So I Country for Old Men was I rewatched No Country for Old Men. That was me. Blibbering my words.
Retarded old men. That's the new.
Yeah, but the retarded old men doing something in the country. I don't fucking know. But you know the whole thing. Like that's the thing. Like when it comes back down to it, Trav, and this is where like I think most people have said like enough is enough. We did all this in 2020. We did this dance 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You're not pulling the same slick shit with us now, and you're certainly not going to get us to go along with it. Now there are going to be people out there, like I have a couple of very retarded family members and friends and shit like that will be posting on social media about like show your support for the anti-ICE protests and blah blah blah. And, they're allowed to be retarded. It's their prerogative. I don't care.
Sure.
Do you? But don't expect me not to make fun of you for it. That's my only thing. Because that's what's coming now. Like you are going to be ridiculed. Like if you thought like you might actually get to feel like the minority victim that you've been wanting to feel like for so long. And once you do feel like that, because we're making fun of you so much for your idiot takes, I guarantee you you're not going to like it. It's not going to be so cool anymore.
Yeah. No, not at all. What is so wild to me is so many people take this shit seriously. Like, how are they ignoring the whole reason that this is happening is because it's over illegals. This is what we voted for as a people in the last election to clean up this shit. Like I said, there's almost a million undocumented illegal aliens in California alone. I forget what the number is specifically, but I think it's close to like, it's somewhere in the region of like 15 to like 30 billion that it costs the state to provide all these benefits that they get just for being there illegally, that legal citizens have to jump through hoops, have an actual job, have a social security number, pay taxes, blah, 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 everything, actually be a citizen, and they get for free. That's what it's costing just that state alone. It's nuts. And then you see a bunch of them waving Mexican flags. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Viva la
actually
Mexico.
are here
All right, back to
illegally and
Mexico
you,
with you. No, I can't go back to Mexico. They're gonna kill me.
well, I'm waving it because I'm proud of who I am, not where I'm from. Well, that's not good either. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, well, then I would maybe, maybe calm down with the flag, because the flag is representative of the country. If you want to maybe, if you want to, maybe represent your heritage, maybe there's other ways to do that. I don't know. Maybe you have like, I don't know if Mexicans have family crests or things along those lines, but maybe tone it down a little bit and assimilate into the country that you're living in. Because I can guarantee you, the United States, like, we're not going to end up like the UK, right? Like,
no.
We're not going to end up getting arrested for memes about pay, like, I
about
put,
anything really.
I put a hashtag. I put hashtag Pave Gaza up on Facebook the other day. If this was the UK, they would have, I'd have two cops, or what do they call them, constables, knocking on my door.
All right, what's all this then?
They're like, oh, what's all this then? Yeah. You said something offensive online, chat. You have to come with us now. And it's like,
oh, you said something transphobic.
I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be like, hey, my first was like, do you guys have guns? No, of course not. It's the UK. We don't carry guns. Oh, good. Okay. Well, because the funny thing is, I fucking do. Now get the fuck off my property. Like, and unless you want a basketball-sized hole in where your chest cavity used to be, and you want to see what double R buck does to a human carcass up close, get the fuck off of my lawn. I mean, we're done with this shit. Like, we're not going that. We're not going that route.
No, we're not, and that's why I like that. Trump has been responsive, and to those that say that he is being, every dumb thing that you could compare to fascism or claim he's fascist, or what's the one they're using here, authoritarian, by superseding Newsom and the mayor of LAPD of Los Angeles. No, he's not. He can do this as soon as it's deemed enough of a problem where the local and state
officials can't
government
handle it.
Isn't
Or
they can't
handle
it. They're refusing to handle it because this is exactly what they want. They're doing this out of spite.
Correct.
This is also the biggest state with the biggest number of those constituents for them when it comes to free votes. Although California, interestingly enough, was the third out of all the states in the last election that did vote for Trump.
They did have a major red swing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot, like, outside of like San Fran,
outside of the major
LA
metropolitan, which are always
all the rural areas all voted red.
Mm-hmm. And California is huge,
right? And which is again, when these people are like, we need to abolish the electoral college. I'm like, nope, because I don't want LA, New York, Boston, and Miami deciding, who runs the country. The coastal elites can, they can fuck off for a minute. That's fine. But you're right, Trav. And Trump is being responsive right now in a way that he wasn't responsive in 2020. Again, there was the pandemic. It was an election year. There was a lot more.
Yes.
There was a lot more at stake at that point politically, I think, than people realized. And
and that's why I feel like
also being backstabbed left and right.
Yeah, he
throughout
was
that entire process.
Yes, completely. There were so many factors going on where you knew if he was able to do what he's doing now, then he would, but he couldn't. There was just too many factors involved. One, obviously the pandemic, 2, election year, and then 3, he's already off his second impeachment, and 1, of course. And then all this other shit. He wouldn't have been able to pull that off.
Right.
I mean, he could have at least enacted it, but it didn't happen. Which, it is what it is now. That was already fucking 5 years ago. So, but now, no, dude, the gloves are off. This is what California asked for. This is what LA asked for, and now you're gonna get it. They're about to enter into the find out phase of FAFO. Because tomorrow those Marines show up. The other 2,000 National Guardsmen are on their way already. it's not going to be a good time for these people if they decide to stay there and continue this destruction.
No, and again, we're not in this. I'm so fucking over. Like, listen, we dealt with this in 2016 in Baltimore with the Freddie Gray riots. We dealt with it, with the BLM riots in early 2017 in Dallas when whatever it was, those 5 cops got killed. And then we dealt with it again in 2020. I have no problem with people exercising their First Amendment rights. But these paid agitators, this orchestrated outrage is I'm done with it, dude. Like, I'm over it. Go post whatever you want, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. That's fine. That's your First Amendment right as an American. You have a God-given right to say whatever it is that is on your mind. But this whole the way that this has gone and the way that we've now basically co-opt violence into the First Amendment. And made blocking traffic a First Amendment issue. We made disrupting people's daily lives a First Amendment. Listen, man, I have no problem with people protesting. But the fucking minute you stop me from doing whatever it is that is my free will to do as well.
Now it's a problem.
Now it's a fucking problem. Now it's a fight. And guess what?
I don't care if I see people holding a sign, standing on a sidewalk, or at least not on a road, holding signs, yelling at me. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm driving right past it one way or another. Like, even if it's for a cause I'm for, I'm just like, all right, it's there. Maybe I'll beep. But other than that, no.
Listen, man. I'll tell you what. If a bunch of Trump supporters decide they want to block Falls Corner Road,
yeah, I'll be like, get the fuck out of here
some morning, and they're gonna prevent me from getting to the gym. Like, bro, listen, man. My Cadillac does not discriminate. All right, left or right, you will get the bumper. Like.
Well, guess what, Joey?
Out of the road.
We're not going to have to worry about that specific scenario happening because,
of course not.
We don't do that.
We don't.
We have jobs, and even if we didn't, we wouldn't be doing that shit.
Right. No self-respecting American is going to go out of their way to impede another American from going about their daily lives simply to prove, like, to promote a cause. Like, it's not. We don't do that shit. Not
because it doesn't
like
accomplish anything really. Like, it
just pisses people off. If anything, it drives them away from you. Which maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is all being funded by the GOP and just this genius fucking marketing thing. Or they're like, yeah, let's make the left look like a bunch of fucking assholes and just pale.
Well, I mean, they don't really need our help.
I know they really don't. I mean, they have AOC and Jasmine Crockett basically lined up to be on the 2028 ticket, which. Not gonna lie, that's an interracial threesome I would totally fucking get in on. But that being said, do I want those two fucking nitwits, those two bimbos running the country? No. Are they going to? Also no. So it's a good thing for us. But you're right. We don't do that. Like, that's something that we don't do. Like, you and I, as Americans, we respect other Americans' ability to say and do as they please. That's guaranteed in the Constitution. That is your right as an American to be able to go about your day unprohibited, like unobstructed, and just do what you want to do, whatever it is that you want to do, however you want to do it, as long as it's not hurting anybody else. You're good. These people want to impose their will on you. And that's true fascism. That's true authoritarianism. Like, those are the true traits of a dictator, like of someone like, oh, it's not good enough for you to just be like, hey man, I support your ability to, I support your right to promote your cause. That's not good enough. No, you must support it, promote it, celebrate it, and also disrupt anybody else who doesn't believe in us. Like, that's some straight fucking Muslim shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
actually,
I'm
Joey,
that.
There's another term that pretty accurately describes it, and it's really funny. It's called fascism.
Where have I heard that one before?
Oh,
Stop me when you've heard this before.
I've just had that word yelled at me so many times, and it's hilarious.
It's lost all of its.
Same with Nazi. It's no, like, come on. What are we talking about here?
It's like when people call me a racist. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
Like, all right, sure. I don't
And?
like that. Yeah, like that's just like that lost its luster back in like 2014. Like once you started calling everybody a racist, you were gonna realize like that was like there are certain words that should be reserved for people that need to be labeled as such.
Yes.
And
it used
when
to have
you label-
meaning. It has. It's emphatic. It's
Like when you call everybody a racist.
when you
I
call
don't know if
somebody
you
a
know this or not.
pedophile, it means they fuck kids. It's like, oh, well, yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that guy's a fucking dick. Like he needs to die. Like wood chipper, feet first. Like
Exactly.
see you later, bro.
Mhm. Or
You
the
know,
end of
you know
Bone
what?
Tomahawk.
Ooh, yeah, with the upside
Let's bring
down,
that back.
cranky crank.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's some fucking wild shit. Great movie. But
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
It was fucking scary. But
Yes.
also kind of glad we conquered those savages because Jesus Christ.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
yes.
I mean, I know we weren't that much better at that point, but man, we've come a lot further in a lot less time.
Well, granted, that's a work of fiction. Like, I don't know if there's that much proof that like native tribes did that. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I mean,
nah, the
that
Aztecs
was-
and the Mayans are pretty fucked up.
I think
There's some
that
pretty-
that method was most famously done in Persia to begin with, but I think it also started before then.
Persians.
Yeah, with their gold curtain rods and
Yeah, they're white BMWs.
yeah,
And they're gonna
But,
come in with
yeah,
purple
uh,
curtains and gold curtain rods.
exactly. Yep, you got it. It's Lesbos.
Jamal, what is this? I could bust a testicle right now.
Oh my god.
Raouf Xerxes. My favorite fucking part of that is like when they clash with the Persians the first time, and like Garrison punches one of them in the face, and he's like, Iranian faggot. Like just such a throwaway line, but so funny.
That's that show for you.
Oh God, July 7th cannot come quick enough.
It will be here soon enough.
Dude,
Jesus
we're
Christ.
already, like I said, we're already a week into June. We're in the second week of June. This is shit's out of hand, bro. It's going by
I don't
quick.
know
We're
where
halfway
all
through.
the
We're
time-
halfway through this year already, dude. It's nuts.
Yes. Yeah, it's nuts.
You know, we are now closer to New Year's 2026 than we were New Year's 2025. It's
Yep,
unbelievable. But
On the 21st, yeah, it'll be the longest day of the year, and then starting from there, each day gets a little bit shorter.
which is kind of nuts that it starts in June getting shorter. But you know, I just felt like August was long nights. You know, but I guess not.
Well, I mean, there's still
That's just my
longer than,
child.
like,
Those are just my
December.
childhood memories.
Well, yeah, sure.
You know, but I like daylight saving. I'm a weirdo. I like daylight savings time. Like I like when the clocks go back and it gets dark early. Because I'm like, ooh, good. Now I don't have to feel guilty about being outside while the sun's still up. I can go into my house and be in my man cave, unashamed.
I get that, but I do like the extra sunlight.
Oh no!
although
trust me,
there's
I
some
like-
times
I
where
like
I'm like,
summer. I'll take summer 10 out of 10 times.
oh yeah, dude, it's because it's always white boy summer.
Always. It's always white boy summer. Come on, man. We live in sleeveless shirts and have Ultimate Warrior hats. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Is this even a serious conversation anymore? I mean,
I mean,
of course it is.
But, I mean,
No, it certainly is.
I thought we were just stating the obvious.
I was saying that sarcastically. I'm like, of course this is fucking serious.
Yeah. Of course it's serious.
But
It's very
yeah, dude,
serious.
everything
Serious business.
everything over right there right now is a fucking mess. I'm gonna check some live shit right now. Let me see if I can find
My
anything.
favorite part was the guy like that they're putting out rewards now for people that are throwing shit off overpasses. Like they put a like $50,000 reward out. I think it was for the guy that picked up like a they dislodged like a no parking sign like on the pole and then threw it off the bridge onto the highway down below where the cop cars are parked. And they're like, yeah, $50,000 reward leading to the information that for the arrest of this guy. And I'm like, yeah, nice. Like we're not fucking around this time. I love it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
again, I have no problem. You want to go stand on the corner with your fucking signs and picket and all that kind of crap and spread your message to it? Go ahead. Go nuts. But the minute you fucking block traffic, you start throwing shit off overpasses at cars. Like we said, that's attempted murder. First of all, okay. Now you're not trying to just destroy property. You're actually attempting to kill people, and we're not doing that. We're not playing that shit this time. So
I mean, it could be argued that they were already trying to kind of do that before. No, lost you there, Joe. All right, got you back.
You're back. Yep. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it could kind of be argued that they were already kind of trying to do that before,
Right.
But just in the passive aggressive way, and that's what was happening today at that at that building where they were earlier. Again, it's the one. It's a federal building that is also part of the complex that also has the detainment building for ICE in Los Angeles.
Right.
At least one of them, or the main one. Directly behind it, but it's walled off, of course. But it's a multi-tier containment facility, and that's where all those people were. But you could tell that they were just trying to egg on the National Guardsmen that were standing guard, and credit to all of them, none of them literally pulled the trigger. Or I'm sure they have still non-lethal means right now, but
God, the
that should
restraint.
change. But they
I envy that
they shown
level of
great
restraint.
because they were just holding their ground because they know, and I'm sure they're instructed to know as well, if they didn't already know it before, to not engage with something minor, because the second any one of you does something in retaliation, that can be deemed one of them being the victim, even if they're not killed but just injured. That's it.
Absolutely.
Now they have every reason to call you whatever they want,
and now we've got a giant problem on our hands because of imaging, and already the media is already dishonest enough. They don't need an actual event to make a mountain out of a molehill. So don't give them anything. But you have to imagine too, these are trained soldiers now. These aren't everyday beat cops that are out there in riot gear with with M4s. These are trained soldiers, and the ROE, if you ever talk to anybody who's ever been deployed overseas, they'll tell you a lot of times they'll be getting shot at, and they're like, yeah, hold your fire, they're shooting at us. They're yeah, but they're not really coming close to us. They're
gonna have to reload us. So
they're shooting towards us, but they're not shooting at us. So we're not technically allowed to fire back yet. There's so many rules, even in war now, when you go into an occupied country, whether it was Iraq or Afghanistan, you talk to some of our buddies that were over there, and they're like, yeah, dude, you could be getting shot at, and they're like, nah, don't shoot.
It's all about the ROE, like you said.
Yeah, so these people that are over there, these National Guardsmen, the Marines, and all that stuff, they've been trained on this stuff. They know, a guy throwing a fucking, whatever, a water balloon or a fucking, even if it is a cinder block or a rock or whatever, that doesn't, even though it is, on the use of force pyramid, if you were to look at it from a law enforcement standpoint, yes, if you hurl a rock at my head, you are trying to kill me or incapacitate me to the point where you could take my weapon and do more harm to me. That's allowed. That should be allowed. That's allowed to be met with lethal force, to stop the threat. But they're gonna open that up be way more strict on that when you're dealing with civilians. They're yeah, even these guys throw rocks at you, just try to get out of the way, use a shield, definitely don't shoot them back, definitely don't fucking Kyle Rittenhouse these motherfuckers, okay? We don't need that mess on our hands. You saw what they did to that Marine in New York when he choked that fucking loser out who was trying to stab people on the train. Tried to put that guy in jail for life. God, what was his name? This is going to kill me. I can't hear you, by the way. Did I lose you again? No. No. I still can't hear you. I have lost you, sir. I have lost your audio. Ah, the joys of live productions. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear the words.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I hit a wrong button.
Oh, okay. I was worried.
But yeah,
Who's been acting super fucky lately? So
no, that was on me. I put my vape down earlier and I rested like right on the button that can also mute my mic.
fucking vapes always comes back to the vapes.
Hey, whatever, man.
Yeah. So sorry, I don't know if you were saying anything during that whole little rant that I just went on.
Well, yeah, I did. I forgot what we were just talking about, though.
I couldn't hear them. But yeah, like we were talking about the rules of engagement. Like we don't need, like, does this world need more Kyle Rittenhouses? Absolutely. Do we need more? What was the guy's name on the subway that choked out that fucking dude that was trying to stab people?
Yeah, I forget his name, but he was
not Jake. I want to say Jacob Chansley, but that was the guy. That was the.
I mean, he was acquitted.
He was He was recently, which got like no publicity whatsoever, except for the right wing people that were like, "Hey, somebody did the right thing."
No, I saw a lot of angry left people, leftists,
really
talking about. Oh yeah.
Oh, they usually just take those L's and they just like dismiss them like they didn't happen.
Oh no,
like,
they were pretty mad, but it wasn't like. It was. I mean, it didn't reach George Floyd levels of.
Not as mad as they're going to be when Derek Chauvin gets pardoned.
Rightfully so, I'll
Which
say.
We'll need to make that a federal holiday. That'll need to be a holiday. We'll have to call it Chauvin Day. What day did Floyd die? We'll call that Chauvin Day when he gets pardoned. Because man, that will just piss off all the right people.
Daniel Penny.
Daniel Penny, thank you.
Former Marine. Mm-hmm.
Yep, right, former Marine. Right, like, again, guy who was just doing what he was trained to do, protect people, and did it in a situation where he was actually the good guy, and because the suspect happened to be black,
it became an outrage.
It was just another white guy chokes out black guy on train. Well, here we go, and it's
despite all the footage of it happening,
and Alvin Bragg was like, "I'm gonna fucking fry this motherfucker."
And all the footage clearly showed that he did what he had to do. I mean, yeah, the guy died, but
and you have to know, it's almost along the same way, same lines as Karen Reed trial thing. Like we talked about it before. Like you have to we know Karen Reed's not guilty, right? We know she's gonna get off. Daniel Penny wasn't guilty. He was doing what he was doing his civic duty, if nothing else. But the stress and just sleepless nights they must be enduring and have endured, knowing that their future isn't entirely in their hands, and that even though they know
what they did is 100%
right, that what they did, they acted properly,
and in the moment too. And also people that are under the influence like that man was, can be tased, they can be shot by guns and not go down. Even a rear naked choke that can still take a while to make somebody pass out if they're hopped up on shit. It's fucking nuts.
I've seen guys high on drugs that don't respond to pepper spray. They don't respond to verbal commands. They don't respond. You have to physically wrangle them into position.
No, they're walking at you like they're fucking T-1000.
And they don't feel pain. You know what I mean? Like they don't feel pain. They don't know pain. At least not in the moment. They do later when they come out of it. And 10, 15 minutes.
If they're not on drugs,
boy, are they sorry after that. But
if they're not currently on drugs and they have a huge adrenaline rush or both, it's.
Trust me, I had a kid one time and I was attempting to put his hands behind his back, and he wasn't a small dude, but he wasn't a big dude either. And he was high as all hell. And let me tell you, when those guys are that high on some of these drugs that they're on, if they don't want to move their arm's not moving. It's not a matter of and I'm like, I know I'm stronger than this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taking all of what I have, or at least most of what I have, to get his arms in position to get him secured. And
that's not
it's
natural.
You don't realize the superhuman strength that these guys get sometimes when they're high on drugs. So when that guy is on the train threatening people, you don't know where he's at. And even going at him the way Daniel Penny did, which I'm sure was the last resort, but like that's a huge fucking danger zone because you're going at a guy that you don't know what he's capable of.
Completely unpredictable.
And he's not in a rational, thought mode. I mean, again, I could tell you, I could regale you with stories of, guys I've met inside that,
Sure.
I mean, one guy, it happened in Fall River. He broke into a house that he was a handyman for. Didn't realize the homeowner was home. She was home. He killed her and basically decapitated her with a piece of a broken glass from a coffee pot. Like,
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what I mean? Like, and he's very much doing life without parole, and we'll never see the, outside again. But like, he was high as fuck when he did it. And he still to this day maintains he has no recollection of doing it. He's seen the pictures, he knows he did it, but he's like, I have no recollection of that.
He may not have any recollection of it, but he did it.
But he did it.
As long as all the evidence.
Oh no, there wasn't. And it wasn't even like it was questionable evidence. It was like, nope, you did it. Like he's like, yep, I probably did it. Like
and his DNA was probably all over the fucking place. Yeah.
But he was like, I was so high. He's like, I have no idea how I got from A to B. And I mean, the crime scene was gruesome as fuck. It was brutal.
And I can believe that. But at the same
that
time,
was right in our
you don't
backyard,
belong
basically.
out in living a free life because you're too fucking unpredictable. We
Correct.
can't have that happen again.
Which is why when I tell people all the time, when I'm like, don't feel bad for these guys, because once they've gotten to me, they've earned it. That you don't get to me because you got into a bar fight at Hibernia on Saturday and you're being locked up until Monday when your mom posts bail.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I don't know why I always bring up Hibernia, but
because those were the days.
I know, great times. A lot of fights in there though. I feel like every time I went in there, I saw something happen, like either inside or just outside. But
I know what you're saying.
It was funny.
Dude, I was there all the time for karaoke.
Karaoke was lit in that place, dude. Lit. That was one of the best, I think, probably one of the best karaoke atmospheres I've ever been in.
Well, just a big open floor as soon as you walk in, and then that's where it all is.
I remember going in there for karaoke night one night, and it was absolute, like it was fun. Like people were getting up and doing karaoke. I think you were there that night, actually.
I most likely was.
People, you was like you and like a couple of, and people were getting up like one after another, dude. And it was just banger after banger, and people were killing it. Like, not in like a, oh my god, they're so good, they should be a professional singer. No, but like they were like, my thing with karaoke, right?
When they were doing karaoke, songs that made everybody were like, oh shit, like yeah, that's good. And
yeah,
like,
the song's sweet. We can all, and like the crowd sings along to it, so you kind of don't have to sometimes.
Yeah.
But my thing with karaoke is like, listen, man, I'm not a professional singer. I'm not a professional artist.
Yep.
I'm just here to make everybody have a good time. And you got to work the crowd a little bit, get them involved,
That's what I do.
The worst people that do karaoke are the ones that take themselves wicked seriously. And you're like, dude, no, like, come on, man. Like, please do not do, At Last by Etta James. Like, we don't need to hear that. It's fucking like, it's 11:50 on a Wednesday night and we're all hammered. And like, we just want to hear something, like do Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. Like,
do a Salt and Pepper song. Do
fucking, like, it'd be way
I don't
better.
like.
No
give me
cares
some 90s R&B.
What your voice coach told you in 7th grade that you could have been an opera singer. We don't care.
No,
it
doesn't matter anymore.
It's gone. It's like that on cruise ships. Every cruise we go on is like there's always like one or two people that go to karaoke every night, and they always get up there and they're like, and it's the same shit every time. It's like, hey guys, like I hope you don't mind, like this song wasn't in the catalog, but like I'm gonna be doing it for American Idol when I go to auditions next month. So like I was just hoping I could
say that
practice
on a cruise,
bro. Every cruise I've been on for probably the last half dozen, there's always one.
Why?
And they want to practice the thing that they're going to audition for, the voice or whatever it is they're going on.
Yeah, but why announce it like that?
Because they have to sing the song a cappella because there's no beat, because it's not in the catalog that they have on the ship.
Okay, but why do it there to a captive audience? Like
again,
Why
because
subject other people to that shit?
because people's egos are out of control, bro. And it's just like, oh, and you're like, yep, there it is. Like me and my wife, like we'll take like bets on like how long it's gonna be before. Like usually it's by like night 2. Like you go to like night, if you go to the first night of karaoke, like usually they'll do karaoke for like an hour every night, and there'll be like a little bit of a competition, and then at the end of the week they'll like bring up like the 6 best people or whatever, and they'll do it like in the main theater or whatever, and they'll get up on the big stage, and there'll be like a couple hundred people in there, and it's pretty cool. But again, they always have like by like night 2 or 3. You can already tell like there's like the same 4 or 5 people that have shown up every night and sang every night, and you're like, oh, one of these motherfuckers is going to be the one. And then we start taking bets on like which one it's going to be. And it's like, ooh, like last time it was this dude who like, I don't know, he sang like some country song, and it was like I don't know, fucking Brooks and Dunn or Florida Georgia Line. I don't fucking know. It was fucking horrible fucking song, and he did not do great. And it was just not a good cover, like at all. Like it was like nope. But he had to announce it. He's like, yeah, I'm going on The Voice next month. Just thought maybe I could like see how you guys, what you guys think. And it's like, nah, bro. Like no one's here to stroke your ego, dude. Like we're all here to drink.
We're all gonna boo you now.
Yeah, right. Like no, everybody's
gonna make you feel like shit before you go into that audition. Like just go and do the goddamn thing.
I wish that was how it went, but it's always the exact opposite. Everybody's like, "Oh, great job," like it's like no one wants to be the asshole.
Dude, I'd straight up walk up to him and be like, "No, fuck you. I don't watch that show. I don't give a shit about it. Why are you subjecting me to its residual bullshit and you're not even on it yet?
Sing a song in the goddamn catalog or fucking get out of here." Like,
yeah, I'm about to do Green Jello's fucking Three Little Pigs right after you and make you look like a goddamn idiot.
Listen, I went up. I was about to do Peaches, all right, Fuck the Pain Away, and it wasn't in the catalog. So you know what I didn't do? I didn't do Peaches a cappella.
Yeah, you did something else that they had.
You know what? No, I just didn't do anything. I was like, nope, that was it. That was my ace in the hole. I got nothing.
That's fine too.
See you later.
That's fine too.
Yeah. I'm not going to subject anybody to my shitty ability. Like I'm not a singer, dude. Like I mean, like it's funny to do it once. Like I did Jump Around. And the whole place went fucking nuts. It was fucking great.
Yeah, because everybody loves that song.
Right. Nobody doesn't like it. It was towards the end. I mean, there was like 10-year-old kids like fucking like jumping up and down like on the stage with me. It was fucking great.
Wait, you going to tell me people were jumping around while you did Jump Around?
Yes, they did. I get off the stage. I walk around like I'm going through the whole room. I'm like at the bar, like doing the whole song like all the way through. Like
nice.
You're gonna work the crowd, man. Like exactly. You know what I mean? I'm not winning any awards here for this. It wasn't like, I'm not getting a fucking Grammy, by any stretch. But guess what? Everybody had fun, and people were. That was like night 1 or 2, and people were still talking about it at the end of the week. So they were like, nah, the fucking big dude did the best. That was the fucking best one of the week. And I was like,
at least it wasn't that fucking guy who tried to.
Yeah. At least it wasn't that fucking asshole singing fucking Brooks and Dunn or whatever gay shit it was.
Yeah, acapella Brooks and Dunn. Well, I'm Brooks and Dunn listening to you fucking prick.
It really is, but like there's always one. Like in the, I think it was like 2 years ago we went, my wife and I, it was just me and my wife on this cruise. And like there's this fucking girl, I think it was a girl, transitioning to a boy. And it had like really short hair, and it would corner you in the elevator or the hot tub and ask you if it could like oh, do you mind if I'm going on American Idol, do you mind if I give you a rendition? And I'm like, bitch, you are not about to serenade me in a fucking hot tub right now with 8 other
don't
people.
Sing to me.
Yeah, like please don't. Like, and then
I'm trying to relax. What you want to do right now is the opposite of what I'm
like. Yo, you're driving my blood pressure through the fucking roof right now. Like, I might as well just go fucking down like 60 Slim Jims and 40 Red Bulls, because that'll be healthier than what's about to happen to my ears.
You should have just gorilla press slammed her out of the fucking.
Oh, bro, I would have been brought up on hate crimes. It was a he-she thing, like, and of course, and then it goes on stage. And every night, the song it wants to sing isn't in the catalog, so it's going to sing it a cappella, and the thing can't sing to save its life. So you're like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And you're like, why do people do this? Like, I get it. You know what? No one's gonna fucking. You're never gonna see any of these people again, and that's all. Okay, cool. Maybe that's the little like, in the back of your mind, like caveat to like, whatever. If I embarrass the shit out of myself, who cares? I'll never see these people again. And that's true. But here I am, like 2 or 3 years later now, I'm still talking about it.
You still remember that. Exactly. It's the other side of the coin.
What a horrific experience it was.
Nobody cares. But no, you're all stuck in that fucking boat together for however long it is. And
fucking week. And, unfortunately, like a lot of the places I like to go are a lot of the same places these people like to go, which, because I go to the guy that, there's like the one-man band guy that's down there in the, one of the bars, like playing covers all night on his guitar, and it's super cool, and
yep.
You go down there and you get everything from the Foo Fighters to fucking Nirvana and, whatever. And
2 bands with one same member.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, like, you get the same, like, it's like you'll go down there and like, and of course, like, but everybody's gonna play the Killers. That one fucking the Mr. Brightside. What is the obsession with that song?
I don't know. I had to ask my brother that last year. He'll be 29 this year, but he had his wedding last year, and they played Mr. Brightside, and it's all of him and his friends, and they're all like under 30. And they're going nuts for Mr. Brightside. I'm like,
why?
How old were you when this came out?
Did that come out in like 2005?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, he was born in 96.
This song came out in. If you could give me the goddamn. Well, it's like it knows it. 2004. It came out in 04.
Yeah, so he was 8. Him and his friends were under 10.
Yeah, like...
And they were all going nuts at the reception. And me and my girlfriend at the time last year, we were both standing there on the sidelines, right on the edge of the dance floor. We're like, why do people... and why is it always just like white people? It's like their anthem.
It is such a white people anthem. It's so embarrassing. Like I at least like it's like if like like you could throw on like like Mo Bamba by Sheck West, you know what I mean? It might get a certain demographic a little, get out there and act a little ignorant, you know what I mean? But like, why is it that? What is it about Mr. Brightside that makes white people get ignorant?
I have no idea.
I don't get it. It's not a good song. I didn't think it was a good song back then.
I don't like the band in general.
Poorly. It sucks. Like the band sucks. Like they're fucking terrible.
Yeah, I've never liked the Killers. They're fucking stupid.
Gay as fuck, bro. They're like fucking emo, punky, college music. Like that's that kind of shit that you like when you like, you're still like. You're getting off your parents' music and you're still trying to find what you really like.
I know what you're saying.
That's the popular thing at the time. So like you're like, oh, it's not bad. But then like as you get older, you're like, oh yeah, no, that shit was kind of gay. Like
to me, it's the quintessential for its time, at least when they were new, or at least like at the time of the release of that song and that album. The guy that really wants to fuck girls, so he listens to that band, or at least pretends to, and then just doesn't get laid either. Like,
yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, I really like Mr. Brightside's my favorite. Oh
yeah. Yeah, dude, it's Mr. Brightside's my favorite song ever.
And he's dancing with the girls, but he never takes them home. Like
yeah. Oh, it's like that. The guy that used to show up to like every party with a guitar, and then he would just play like Glycerine. And you're like, oh, God damn it.
Jesus Christ. Like,
and
I like that song. I love that album by Bush, but...
Great song, great album.
But don't do that at a
don't do that to me.
It's such a cliche. It
really is. And it was cliche back then.
Yes.
And I'm talking 20 years ago it was cliche. 25 years ago it was
I remember being at a party and somebody started playing Damn It by Blink-182 at a house party at Jess Bergoli's house. And
wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
And I was like, dude, really? You're playing that?
Right? Really, bro? Seriously? This is what we're doing now? Okay.
I was like, really? All right.
yeah, all right, guess do you. And like, I don't even hate Blink 182. I mean,
No, neither do I. But
do I put them on as a choice? No, but you know,
well, I called him out on it because I was like, well, it's such an easy riff. Like it's not even like, and I wasn't good at guitar back then.
Right.
I'm not even great at it now, but back then I was like, dude, really, that song is so fun. Like, you can't do anything harder than that. And then he was like, oh, can you do any better? And I think I started playing Alice in Chains.
Nice.
And then he shut up.
Yeah, I never got into guitar battles with anybody. Like, because I never really like. I never learned to play guitar. I only learned to play songs on guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who plays guitar knows exactly what I'm talking about. So like, I was never a guitar player. I just learned how to play a couple of songs, mostly Metallica, and because that's all I wanted to play. I didn't give a shit about like playing guitar. I just wanted to be able to sit in my basement and fucking.
Master Puppets, yeah.
I'm like, dude, if I can fucking nail Battery, I'm like, I'm a god. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a flying fuck what anybody else says. They're like, you know, like, well, what else can you play? I'm like, who gives a shit? I can play Battery. And they're like, yeah, but that's like one song out of 10 billion that exists. And it's like,
I can play better than you.
Yeah, it's the best song out of those 10 billion. So fuck you. Like. But like no, it just I don't know. Like I remember like we would sit in like Guitar Lab in high school.
Oh yeah,
and I'd just sit there like trying to learn, and like what was his name? Booch would just be like sitting there like, all right guys, here's a couple like get riffs and this and that, and he teaches some cool shit. And then
you had Boochery. I had fucking the piano teacher, Rodriguez.
The tall skinny guy with the glasses.
No, he was like Mexican or Puerto Rican, Mr. Rodriguez. He was a piano. He couldn't play guitar.
Yeah, he taught music theory when I had Guitar Lab.
And he was like a chorus teacher too. He was also involved in like the theater.
I had Boudria and a tall skinny guy with glasses whose name I can't remember.
Boudria at least knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Boudria was fun. Boudria would like teach you like all right, listen, you want to play that Crazy Town Butterfly song? He's like, here it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like, oh wow, that's it. And it's like there's the dumbest, simplest riff of all time, but he's like, yeah, man. He goes, that's what good production does for you. You know, you take something stupid like this, and you're like, whatever. And by the way, I listened to Dave Mustaine on the Sean Ryan podcast last night. I listened to a bunch of him bitching about Metallica.
Well, yeah, because you brought this up last week too.
I just wanted to bring it back like real quick. It is exactly what we thought it was.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he is so mad.
Dude, you sent me that one thing like
he's basically like, yeah, Enter Sandman, like arguably their biggest song ever. He's like, ever listen to Excel? Go look them up. Pretty similar. You know, and like he names like the Excel song, and it's like a fairly similar-ish riff, but it's like
yes.
Yeah, they came out within like I don't know, like 12 months of each other. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like, like yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe they borrowed from one or the other. Like, but I'm like, it's music. There's only so many notes on a guitar you can play, and certain ways. Like, I get it. Like, everything's borrowed or sampled from one thing or another. So I'm like, but like he's basically trying to, basically trying to say like Enter Sandman was ripped off by somebody else. I was like, okay, Dave.
Well, that's so funny because yesterday you sent me that one meme. And then immediately after that, basically, I sent you one that popped up. Like right after you sent that to me.
Dude,
Dave Mustaine at the checkout line.
Dave Mustaine is the gift that keeps on giving, dude. It's so funny.
Yeah, Dave Mustaine at the checkout line.
Yeah.
Saying, I wrote the lyrics to Orion, and the guy saying, sir, this is a 7-Eleven. Like,
but I wrote the lyrics to Orion is the best fucking... Like,
yeah,
that's the part of that. Like, it's like, oh, like, he is fucking clueless. Like, he's just saying anything now. Like,
he's like Sleepy Joe of thrash metal.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he's basically the Joe Biden of thrash metal. It's fucking awesome. But anyway, I don't know how we get off on all this, but yeah, people who do karaoke need to fucking take it down a notch. Like, unless you're one of those people that does like karaoke contests and wins. Don't really want to hear your rendition of anything. But
funnily enough, I came in second place at one at Hibernia all those years ago.
I want to say I was there for that. Like I used to actually frequent Hibernia somewhat often.
I was
For a
pretty much
little
there
while there,
on
back in,
Thursdays for karaoke for a few years.
Yeah, back in like 2008, 9-ish. Like, I'm pretty sure I was in Hibernia, actually, the night Ron Artest signed with the Lakers. So, which is a really odd, very specific memory that I have. But yes, I remember where I was when the news broke that Ron Artest signed with the Lakers.
It was at
I
Hibernia.
was thrilled. I was at Hibernia.
Yeah, I haven't done many like contests, but that one I signed up for because I was going there anyways on those nights.
Yep.
And ended up going through the tournament. I ended up winning second place, and the person that beat me was none other than Samantha Irvin.
Oh, the WWE chick.
Yes, she's from New Bedford.
Well, formerly WWE, right? She's off to other stuff now.
Yeah, she's gonna pursue her singing career again now.
Oh, no shit. Right.
But yeah, she was just a local singer, and shit. After that, like a few months later, maybe a year later, she went on America's Got Talent, did pretty well, at least got like some recognition, and then got hired by WWE, and now she's gonna start singing again. So if I had to lose to anybody, at least it was somebody that made something for themselves.
It's not like it's
And
not
she's
like
a great
you lost-
singer too.
It's not like it's not like you lost to like some slapdick, who was singing. I don't know what's the fucking gayest karaoke song you could possibly sing.
It's Raining
Like-
Men.
5,000 Miles by the Proclaimers. Like,
I would walk 5.
I mean, I'm just thinking of like stuff that takes like no talent to sing.
Oh, sure. Oh, no, she did probably like something like Mariah Carey and crushed it. Meanwhile, I did like either Three Little Pigs or Cypress Hill or Rebel Yell or something stupid. Like,
I mean, three excellent, solid choices.
I mean, I do all those well, but I mean, compared to a singer that can do that, like multiple octaves, I'm like,
Yeah, somebody who can actually hold a note.
Oh, she can actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm just some jackass who, drinks here.
I just kind of yell into a microphone and hope for the best.
That's exactly what I do. And dude, it's funny every week, even now, because I go every Friday. I get people saying, "Holy shit, you should be in a band," or "Yo, man, you're so good." I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm just here to. I'm glad you liked it, but no, I don't.
Yeah, no, my karaoke talents are, like I said, I do primarily hip hop. And by primarily hip hop, I mean I can do Party Up by DMX, Jump Around, or Give Me the Loot. Those are my 3 songs.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I could do other ones.
It's kind of all you need.
But I'm not like, I'm not going out and doing karaoke enough to like really like, start expanding my repertoire.
No, that's fair. Again, it's good that you still go up and do it though. Like when you want to, and when it's
I mean, I haven't done DMX or Biggie in probably a good 10 years, just because I think if I did it now, I'd probably get fired. You know what I mean? Like one cell phone, like shitty cell phone video of me.
Even though that's not you. Yeah.
It shouldn't have anything to do with me, but somebody would be like, you knew the lyrics before you sang them, and it's like, yeah, but I was just paying homage to the artist by singing the great song.
I'm just singing what's up there.
Yeah, like I
song, there's no
Biggie Smalls did. If Biggie Smalls didn't want some white guy singing his song 30 years later, maybe he, should have put less N-bombs in it. But, I can't help that. That's not, that's just not what it is.
I'm being inclusive.
Yeah, exactly. There's no. What that white teacher say that one time when he's like, it's an AH, not an ER. Like, it's different. It's different.
Speaking of, I gotta take a piss.
Outstanding. So do I, actually.
Well, we're looking at 140 right now. What say you?
We could probably wrap it up here. I think we've covered enough for tonight.
Dude, we definitely went over everything, I think, and stated our opinions on.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did
every major topic, from R-Truth to the riots to.
And the best part is next Monday night there'll be even more to talk about, because this is only going to get better.
Again, they've reached the finding out part of FAFO. Tomorrow
they have.
Tomorrow, the reckoning, the hammer is going to be dropped.
Yes,
Yeah, as it should
we
be.
are to the third letter. This is your here.
Mm-hmm. The third of FAFO, which is
And I would
fucking-
love, like, I hope to God we get some quality, high quality HD footage of Marines doing Marine shit to these people.
Semper Fi, man.
Because, man, let me tell you, these fat little shits that think they're freedom fighters that are like, emerging from their mom's basement to, anti-ice, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, man, when you go up against some trained killers,
Yeah,
you'll learn.
and not to
It is not
discredit or diminish the National Guard, but
no,
now the Marines are showing up.
But the Marines are here.
Yes.
And the Marines only show up for, like, real shit. So, like, the National Guard shows up, it's like, oh, there's a flood. Nah, the National Guard's there. I'm like, okay. They're building levees, and that's very useful and very helpful,
Yes,
and we
we need
appreciate
them.
the fuck out of them, and that's not to diminish their service by any means.
No,
but
not at all.
Marines,
It's a
I've
different
seen,
thing.
I've seen Full Metal Jacket. Okay, I know what the Marines are all about. I wasn't one, but I know a bunch of people that were, and they're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And not exactly some people I'd really want to be fucking, messing around with in that scenario.
No, not at all. So
So I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it.
I am too. We have a lot to talk about next week, I'm sure. We'll see how this
As
unfolds
always.
in the next 7 days. And until next time, folks, hope you all have a great week.
Enjoy.
Watch out for Clibbins, and God bless.
Yeah, no clippings.
Gonna have
Watch
to
out
lay her
for-
down.
Watch out for Dave Mustaine.
God damn it. All right, later, brother.
All right. Later, bud.